December 12th.
I'm headed back to Milwaukee. My mother is thrilled.
Oh, you look so skinny!
Feel like a teenager again.
Do you mind staying here because the Christmas tree is being delivered?
Patrick Ryan? When I saw him, I almost died.
I'm sure it was just all in your head.
No, literally, I fell down the stairs. You okay? I'm fine. Let's go! I think my mom just stays awake at night thinking of ways to publicly humiliate me. I think you look adorable.
At Lifetime, Christmas love is for everyone.
Outlast Psycho.
Mom, I don't need you meddling in my social life.
Oh, hi, Patrick.
Fate that we cross paths. Fate or Kate?
I'll just leave you two boys to it.
Ben Lewis, Blake Lee, Ellen Wong, Chad Connell, and Fran Drescher.
I don't have to ask Santa for anything this year. I already got it.
The Christmas Setup premieres Saturday, December 12th at 8. Part of It's a Wonderful Lifetime, 24/7 holiday movies all season long.
Welcome to Stocking Stuffer number 2, and more importantly, Stocking Stuffer number 1 with a guest star. That's right. It is our first guest of the season. Yeah, that's you.
I didn't know that.
That is you. We save the best for first, and I'll say that same line like every time I have another guest. But of course, I mean it this time. These are hard to do, and I need support. I need intelligence. I need charm. So I go to my dear friend. You know him. You love him. You have heard him on the show before. He is the one and only Jason Fozzie Nelson. Say hello.
Yay! Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I love doing these.
So happy to have you.
Oh, and us together, we're almost a full person.
Somehow we make it work.
Yeah.
Now, I am going to say something. I was thinking today about, the movies we've done, because obviously today's movie, which you heard the trailer for, we'll talk about in a second, The Christmas Setup, certainly calls to mind a movie we did 2 years ago, I think, which was Single All the Way. That was the Netflix gay Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. But last year, you were here for an episode. Uh-huh. It was the Lindsay Lohan,
it was.
Trouty Mouth, and oh my God,
Street.
What the fuck was the name of that movie?
Lindsay Returns.
Without looking it up, do you have any idea what the title of that movie was?
God, no.
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah, because I know she had amnesia. Did it have like a pun about amnesia? Like,
I don't even think it did. I think it was
Christmas
like Mountain Holiday, Ski Holiday. I don't know. It was like I thought I've been thinking about this for the last 3 days. Of what was the name of that movie? I'm not going to look it up. It'll come to me. And I can honestly tell you, it will never come to me. I remember things about that movie. I will not, and I have a feeling even if I learn the title, I'm going to forget it the next day. But I just found that fascinating. And in some ways,
the most important thing for me about that movie was
Cocoa Shaw.
Cocoa Shaw.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We stan a queen. We stan a Christmas queen. Mm-hmm. He is fantastic. And in my head, he and that crazy old mountain man are still
made it work
happily
completely.
Ever after. Yeah.
And so, generic title. This movie kind of has a generic title because it is called The Christmas Setup. Mm-hmm. Is there a setup in this movie? There's a minor one, but that's a very small part of it.
It's alluded to that, she is always behind the scenes, pulling strings like a little puppet master.
Yeah. Kind of.
But yeah, there's not a setup. It's more of a running into.
Yes. So, The Christmas Setup, this is from 2020, made for Lifetime, produced by Mar Vista, our first Mar Vista of the year, which is always an exciting thing. Directed by Pat Mills, who, not huge career, but written by Michael J. Murray, who also wrote Santa Boot Camp, which is a movie I covered last year, the one with Rita Moreno. So now, let me ask first, what made you, of all people, pick this movie?
Honestly, Fran Drescher. So the thing about my love for Fran Drescher, I don't think she's that great of an actress. I don't think she's that funny. I never watched The Nanny. but I adore her as a person. She just seems like the coolest person to hang out with. I want to be her friend so bad.
Yeah, I mean, the hero of the year.
Yeah.
And obviously I am talking about her supporting role in the Lifetime's miniseries Secrets of the Morning, based on the Dawn franchise of novels by V.C. Andrews, where she plays a blousy alcoholic former actress. Right? That's her big 2023.
The role she was born to play.
Completely, yeah. Also, she saved Hollywood, so that's awesome too.
Side note.
My history with Fran Drescher really goes back to UHF.
Yeah.
Right? Because she has a line that if I ever, and I've been saying this now for how long have we been doing this podcast? I think 12 years.
Yeah.
I've been saying it since then, that if I ever did a promo for this podcast, I would use the line she has, the way she says it in UHF, which is, broads don't belong in broadcasting.
Yeah.
After somebody says that to her. I've always wanted to find that sound clip and use that as the thing. But I'm way too lazy and I have not. But Fran Drescher, she's great.
Yes, big supporter of the gays.
Huge supporter of the gays forever. Her husband was gay. That was probably why.
I found a new YouTube show and a podcast that I really love. It's hosted by Matt Baum, Baume, and he's been around for forever. He's been doing YouTube videos for 8-9 years now, and he examines gay media or gay representation in media through the years.
Okay.
So it's a lot of the episodes of the Golden Girls, and Archie Bunkered. I didn't know that he had a trans friend who.
Oh my gosh, there are so many just early gay, a whole lot of stuff on All in the Family, and it's fantastic.
I had no idea.
Yeah, the bartender is gay, and that's a big reveal in an early episode.
Yeah,
because they all think it's somebody else, and it's then the bartender's like, "What would you say if it was me?" And it is, and it's great. Yes. Oh yeah, All in the Family is fantastic.
I never really watched All in the Family, but I found through this show all the gay representation on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Episode here or there, and I knew Meathead and
sure.
I knew the broad sweep of it.
It's
but I didn't
very
know...
good, Gene Stapleton.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't know all the gay representation on it. So anyway, he did an episode about the nanny and talked about Fran Drescher's lifelong and undying love and dedication to the gays, where she has sacrificed money to gay causes, and she will do anything for her gay fans.
Yeah.
And so I just love her. She seems like a great lady. I like I said, I don't particularly like her acting. I think her accent is a little over the top, and she puts it on a little thick. But she just seems cool. Yeah, so that's why I picked it overall.
Yeah. Oh no, and I think she's somebody, like a Dolly, like a Bette Midler, who understood very early on her own persona as being a big drag queen in a way.
Basically, yeah.
And probably learned very quickly, even aside from the actually being married to somebody, and it was her, I think her high school sweetheart, they were married for years, and at one point they divorced, and during that time, it came out that he was gay, that, sure, she had, a kind of a first-hand experience with something that probably wasn't as, known and discussed back then, but also, there is something that comes with having that kind of physical bigness that, yeah, you're going to attract the gays, and they're going to love you, and you're going to learn to celebrate them if you want a career.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, the second I saw the Desperate Housewives on the cover of Entertainment Weekly, I was like, drag queens are going to love this.
Yes.
They're also statuesque.
And also, Terry Hatcher cannot be in the middle. That was part of the clause, supposedly.
Oh,
God, do you remember that era? Oh, what a time.
Photo shoot.
What a time to be alive, people.
Yeah. Remember when that was the biggest thing going on in America? That was so great.
It was a lot. It was so much.
Oh.
Okay, so the Christmas setup.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So let's first tell everybody that this is it was a Lifetime production. It is now rentable. However, you can also watch it for free. Jason, how would you watch this movie for free?
I love your setup. You told me, and I instantly forgot when I got to the TV.
Oh no, you paid $1 for it.
It's that's $1. I don't care.
Jason Fozzie Nelson.
I'm the worst.
What am I going to do with you?
Handle technology. There's so many shows. I know I keep tangenting, but there's so many shows that I just don't watch because I don't know how. Like RuPaul's Drag Race, I don't know what to do now.
That's okay. That one is on 7 different networks, and none of them are ones that you have easy access to.
Okay.
So that's okay. It's okay.
And the Kids in the Hall came back, and it was
weren't they on
Amazon,
I don't. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But this one, I just, again, I am a big proponent of your public library. And as we have discussed, there are 2 video services that are free through most libraries, not all libraries. It depends on if your library is participating. But we talk a lot about Canopy because it has an amazing selection. But Hoopla is another free service that is streamable through your library. You just need a library card, and to see if your library is a member, my library was, so I could rent this for free on Hoopla.
Hoopla. Okay.
Hoopla. How fun.
Yeah.
It did not look like there was that much else on Hoopla of interest. But
on Amazon, by the way, it is 99 cents to rent and 99 cents to buy.
Which did you do?
I just did rent. I was like,
I knew it.
Watch this again. Why take up my bandwidth? I don't need it.
I get it. So, with that being said, we will get into the different, things that make this a Cozy Garden Christmas movie. But first, let's walk through the plot, and we'll spoil it, guys. You know what happens in this movie, so we're not really spoiling anything. Jason, can you walk it through for us? Tell somebody who is like, Christmas setup, what's that about? Tell them.
It is the most cliche story. Busy New York lawyer going home to
New York lawyer.
Yeah, going home to his tiny little hometown of Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, as they say.
You know Fran Drescher's distinctive Milwaukee accent?
Yes. That is how they all talk.
So,
oh my God, what if everybody in town actually did talk like, what if they decided it was cheaper for everybody to act like Fran Drescher than for Fran Drescher to try to act like she was from Milwaukee? So everybody in town had a Fran Drescher accent? Imagine that movie.
And then years later, it'll still be happening. It's just like on through the city, and nobody can explain it.
There's an oral history about it at some point, and they figure it out.
So, busy lawyer decides to go home for the holidays. He's planning to anyway. He takes his roommate / best friend with him because she has no plans and no date for the holidays. So the two of them go home. He meets a former crush of his. It's interesting that they didn't really know each other. Like a lot of times these stories are like, oh, we dated and things just didn't happen, blah, blah, blah. Or we used to hang out all the time. But they were 2 years apart in school. And that's Patrick is the character's name, and Hugo is the main character. So they were 2 years apart. They kind of knew each other. Like, they crossed paths. Like, Patrick used to buy blimpies from Hugo.
Something like that.
Something. So, like, they don't have a storied history, but they meet, immediate chemistry. It's like, hey, you're cute, I'm cute, let's be cute together. And they start dating, but of course Hugo realizes that it's only short term because he has to go back to his busy life in New York. And while he's there, his smoking hot boss.
This boss was kind of hot, yeah.
So handsome.
Yeah.
And I looked him up. He is in a ton of these type of movies. He's just always handsome boss man. So handsome. Anyway, he calls Hugo and is like, hey, you gave us an ultimatum about your career here, so we've decided to take you up on it, and we're going to promote you and make you partner, and we're moving you to London. And so then there's even more pressure. He's like, what do I do? And that's the main plot, and some other bullshit happens with some people, and I don't know.
Well, I mean, you did forget the other plot about saving the railroad station.
Oh, yeah. They have to save Christmas because, like, a gay railroad magnate.
He's not kidding. It was a gay railroad magnate who apparently was like the Hershey of this town who, funded everything and would do Christmas parties at this railroad station, but he's been dead for a while and the railroad station's been abandoned, but they still do Christmas stuff there. God damn it, I was so mad that guy didn't turn out to be Santa Claus.
Oh, God, I know. There was so much opportunity.
For it.
I have to say, like a minor spoiler, I didn't love this movie just because there were so many, I don't want to call them loose threads, but I guess missed opportunities that I felt were going to happen that didn't. Like the brother, didn't it seem like he had a big story behind the scene? Something was going on with that brother. He was brooding and troubled, and he took
I thought war crimes, but...
Yeah, and he took a second glance at Patrick when he first met him, and like there was a little awkward moment. And then like later he was constantly asking about Patrick, and I knew that there was something there. I didn't think that he was gay. I thought that maybe he had bullied him in school, or they had some weird history. And then at one point I thought that Patrick was going to turn out to have sold out the little small town thing. Because he likes progress, and he makes Cassandra, and he's and I thought he'd have a hand. None of that happened.
No.
Nothing happened. Like there was so much opportunity and nothing.
It was, because I will say I enjoyed this a little more than I expected to, just because I thought the actors and some of the writing had a lot of charm. I thought there was chemistry. I mean, the leads are married in real life, so they're a real life couple. Like I thought yeah.
Oh my God, girl! I hated Hugo.
Hugo was a little bitch, but I don't know. I thought Patrick was dreamy, and I thought I believed that they wanted to bang.
Did you recognize Patrick?
No, everybody looked the same to me.
So Patrick is played by April Ludgate's boyfriend's boyfriend.
Oh, good call. Okay.
I'll tell you, he is custom made for these movies. He's charming,
completely, very bland, forgettable. I will not recognize him, and he's probably been in like 70 of these movies that I've talked about in the last 9 years, and I didn't realize.
Yeah. He is custom made for these type of movies.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I thought some of the flirting was just a little bit more natural than most of these movies.
Yeah, I agree.
The actual banter back and forth felt like real conversations, which you don't normally get.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't tweaky or overwritten.
No, yeah, it wasn't. And I found Fran Drescher really lovable in this. Sure. She kind of charmed me. There was a lot about it that I was kind of into in that rom-com way that it normally is got to work hard for me to fall charms to. Mm-hmm. But I agree. The problem was things were set up to make this more interesting. And the movie ended, and I actually had to stop and rewind to be like, wait, did they save the train station? Did I miss that?
We don't even know. We don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I looked on Wikipedia, and it was they saved the train station. I'm like, I don't know that they did.
Well, and also she was like, I may have some big news, and I'm going to have my son come up. Why don't you come talk? And he comes up and talks, and it's just I love this town, and everything's good. Merry Christmas. He doesn't. I thought he was going to announce something about the train station there.
Yeah.
Because he had been working the legal case.
Yeah, it felt like the movie just kind of assumed we didn't care, but some of us actually want plot in these things.
Yeah, well, and even the ultimate resolution of the couple is kind of open-ended because he talks to his best friend.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
And his brother actually about the best friend because they've fallen in love.
Weirdest thing, yeah.
And he's like, doesn't the long distance thing bother you? And the brother's like, nope, not at all. And so you're like, oh, are they just going to do something long distance? But then he also says, I love this town and I'm home right now. So you're like, wait, is he moving there?
Yeah, we don't know. You're right. That is really frustrating.
There's no ending.
No, there is not. There is absolutely not. He's at the end, it's you kind of think, okay, I guess he's okay with long distance relationships, but we don't know if that's what he's actually chosen. It is weird.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that left me just a little sour. I like happy endings, and this was a non-ending.
It was a non-ending, yeah.
Another movie, you and I disagree about another movie, and it reminds me of this, Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. I hate it because it's a non-movie. It's an ending.
I love a good ambiguous ending, but a Lifetime Christmas movie is not the place for ambiguity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just not.
True.
People watching this we're not the smartest. We're not watching these to be challenged and imagine for ourselves. I
literally need spoon-fed the story.
That's what these movies are designed to do. They are. Yeah. So it's very strange. And it would be okay if it was done in a way that was kind of ambitious. And that happens every now and then. You're usually my good luck charm for these movies because more often than not, you pick the ones that are surprisingly good. And I always go back to The Truth About Christmas, which was the freeform one. It was a liar, liar, but it was it actually ended with her not being with somebody, and it was shocking. And it was left up to the air of I don't know what I'm going to do, and you were like, whoa, and it was great. But this isn't that. This is just we just ran out of. It's they're talking as the credits start rolling, where they just totally ran out of time and money and just said, it's fine.
It's built for TV because it has commercial breaks.
It has
very
much.
For commercials.
Yeah, and you really notice it when you watch it straight through.
So at the end, when they kissed and then they're holding hands, it pans down and it went to commercial. It's okay, what's going to happen next? It just came back to credits. It was nothing. That was it.
Yep.
I was so let down by that. So I can't in good faith recommend this wholeheartedly. If I were to rate this, I'd give it 5, I think, because some of the acting is charming, the people are charming. The Patrick Ryan or Blake Lee, the actor, is adorable.
Yeah, he's very cute. He's
really good, and also legitimately charming. You can tell he has screen presence and a little charisma. So I like it for him. There's some good things about it, but overall, I was just let down.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to love it.
Well, let's dive into the things that make it a Christmas movie, because maybe that will help bring some stuff out. So the first thing is usually our female, in this case not, but our lead in need of a lesson. And in this case, it's Hugo. And would you describe Hugo as needing to learn a lesson?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he knows what he wants, right? Like, it's not
Well,
like
he thought he did, and then he met Patrick.
That's true, but like, don't fuck over your career for a guy, like a .comer.
Well, yeah, it's what's funny, and this is one of those things where you start to, I think, see some of the weird mind things that these movies do. Yeah. Because had this been a straight romance, had Hugo been, I don't know, Huga, whatever the female version of Hugo is.
It's
and
Huga. You got it.
Hugo was a high-powered attorney who gave an ultimatum to her boss and then went home to mom and met this guy who worked at the Christmas tree lot but was also a millionaire but also worked at the Christmas tree lot and was like, I'm going to give it up. I got the promotion that I've been working so hard for, but I don't know about it. I would be fucking pissed off. I would be just like, oh, come on. But in this case, because I guess, like, I don't know, Hugo seems kind of like, I guess what this movie does and what I have seen other movies do in this way is where they kind of have started to work harder at making it clear that, no, this person is not happy. That it used to be like, oh, they weren't happy because they wore high heels and had their hair in a tight bun. Right. But lately it has been more of like, oh, no, they're not happy because, yeah, they work hard and they come home late and they just seem lonely and they're not having fun and they have money, but they can't do anything with it, which is, in truth, very much something that came out of the pandemic, right? Like, this realization of, and I mean, I know it's true for a lot of people I know, of being very career-oriented and then, like, having a lot of things change and stopping and saying, like, I don't know, maybe that wasn't the most important thing. And I feel like without directly addressing that, these movies have started to, like, understand that and convey that a little better.
And you can do that filmically fairly easy. It takes like one shot of them, like, you know, paying bills by
right, like sad TV dinner goes a long way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can express that. But I didn't feel that from Hugo in this movie.
Yeah, like it seemed like, oh, I'm a control freak. Like, yeah, some people are, and those people make good lawyers and usually enjoy being lawyers.
You have a best friend and you're going skating in Rockefeller Center, and like you're having hot chocolate and like everything seems fine.
Yeah, pretty good life.
Yeah,
but
doing great, Hugo.
Yeah.
And it's okay to like live in your duality, like love that, but also love going home and spending time with your family, and then going back to New York. You can have both.
Yeah, well, maybe he does. We don't know.
I know.
All right. Well, number 2 is our bland love interest, which is usually, now here's an interesting thing, and actually this is the second movie in a row where this happens. It's typically either A or B. A is poor little rich boy. B is, simple guy who works with his hands. In this case, like in the last movie, kind of in a reverse way, we have both.
Both, yeah. That Venn diagram is just a circle now, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, because he is really written as, the perfect man with no baggage whatsoever, which I just adore. I love he doesn't have an ex, like, in the picture.
Right, and even that, like, in high school, like, he was out and he was popular. Yeah. So it wasn't even like he had this, because this movie, obviously, like, it's a gay movie, and it's comfortable addressing that, but it does it in this really, like, happy universe way where, like, neither Hugo nor Patrick ever seem to express any, like, oh yeah, it was hard being gay in high school. Both of them seem to thrive, which is great.
And I honestly love that. It's that Schitt's Creek way of directing.
Exactly.
Like, live in a world where homophobia just doesn't
exist. Yeah.
And I like seeing that. So I did appreciate that. But so Blake was class president. He was Mr. Popular. He like started an app called Cassandra, which can predict anything.
Anything?
Yeah, anything. Anything.
When do you think we will start? Like, what's going to be the next thing? Because I feel like we have had app developers and software developers as like the secret rich guy thing for a while. Like either it's a prince or he developed an app if he's rich. Yeah. So what's going to be the next thing? Because like in maybe like 3 years, like apps are going to not be the thing that makes you money anymore. I mean, not that they do today. But so what do you think we're going to, like crypto? Do you think we just skipped crypto, or do you think crypto is going to come up at some point?
I think we skipped it. I
hope so.
Rightfully skipped it. But I think it will probably go into like housing. Like, like I'm a big Airbnb-er. Like I have 68 apartments.
God. I'm a super host. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of thing. Because
I think you got it.
Rich off of that shit, and it's happening more and more.
Nailed it. Yeah.
None of us can afford to live anymore.
All right, so number 3 is our setting, which is either a big bad city, charming small town, or magical winter wonderland. I mean, we have a little bit of big bad New York, do we not?
We do. But then,
do quotation marks.
Yeah, did you recognize anything? It's obvious. That was
I
obvious.
mean, it was all like, popular stock footage shots of like Rockefeller Center and the usual things that you see in these movies.
But that one scene when they're on the street, that was Toronto.
I mean, there was a lot of Canadianisms here too.
Okay,
This was definitely filmed in Canada.
Gotcha. So New York, but also like they don't really go to a small town; they go to a street in a big town.
Yes. Well, and they treat Milwaukee as a like tiny little town.
Yeah.
What's up with that? What do you think they're doing? What are they doing here?
Cindy Lou Who Village. Like everybody knows each other and they sing and wear little hats.
Like, what do you think is going on there that they picked Milwaukee?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because they even make a joke about Fran Drescher's accent in it. They say basically exactly what I said. But I will say that when I was watching it with my roommate Melissa, I said it before they said it in the movie.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
You are smarter than this movie, Jason. I fully believe that.
Barely. Yeah, I wonder, like, there's no, because they probably didn't film there.
No, it was filmed in Canada. It was filmed in Ontario, based on IMDb, which I fully believe, Ottawa and Ontario.
I did think this, and I was wondering, like, is Fran Drescher, like, does she film something there? Like, is that where Hot in Cleveland? No. And, like, but she wasn't on that show.
Wasn't she, though? Could she have been? I don't know.
Right?
Is that show still on? Maybe.
I went over it a lot, and I cannot figure out.
It's weird.
Either why Milwaukee or what Milwaukee. I'm not gonna.
Well, like, why it be a town? Like, if you're going to not actually film in Milwaukee, why say you're film? Why not say we're here in, Mistletoe Falls?
Yeah.
Like, why is it? And like, they try to build it up as like, this city is evolving. Like, we have drag bars, we have, different like community things. Like, they actively say like, oh, this town is more progressive than it used to be. That's great, but like, you're not there. I don't get it. It's very odd.
Maybe since they wanted the train thing to be such a big part of it, they needed like a hub. I
like that. We'll go with it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So number 4 is our dead parents or dead wife. Something I'm trying to do now, I am trying to actively clock at what point in the movie we are introduced to the fact that there are dead parents or dead wife. Okay. So the first movie we did, it was in that under the 3-minute mark. This one is 5 minutes 20 seconds in. The house has been quiet since your father passed.
I know.
So, yep.
I gotta say, speaking of dead parents, I also thought one of the missed opportunities, I thought this was gonna go like a Family Stone route.
Oh my!
And like she was trying to make her kids happy before she died of like chick cancer,
Oh, that would have been a lot.
I know. There was too much to hope for.
So the other part of that was that like, there seems to be we don't know about I assume Patrick's mom was dead because it's one of these movies.
Guess so.
I don't think they say it, but then Fran Drescher like early on says something to the effect of like, Patrick's dad is hot.
Yeah.
So if had we known the mom was dead, then we could have like rooted for this to happen. Very like, I'm putting my finger through a hole to say Fran Drescher get banged in this movie, but we just don't. For all we know, mom's out there, so we could.
And again, it's just such a missed opportunity because it could have been accomplished with just like one little look at each other, or you could
at the very end,
so easily. We don't have to know the resolution of that story, only that it's maybe the beginning of something would be nice.
Yes, because that brings us into number 5, sassy sidekick. So our sassy sidekick, something that again I like to look for is if we have the like B-story romance with the sassy sidekicks. And we get that here, because now tell me about the sassy sidekick in this case.
Oh, God, what was her name?
Maddie,
yes, that's right. His best friend since college, the Hugo's main character, she comes home with him from New York, and she's just almost manic pixie dream girl, sort of. She's kind of like kooky and like, let's do it.
But she doesn't wear earrings.
Oh, she didn't? I didn't notice that. Was that a line in the movie, or did you just...
No, it's important. Usually our sassy sidekicks have like big dangly earrings that are really unflattering and make them look stupid, and they're there to make sure that the sassy sidekick doesn't look prettier than the lead.
Yeah, coffee, tea, me,
Yeah, and in this case, I almost wonder if like they didn't have to go that route because our lead was not female. So she wasn't competing. She could be the hottest chick in the film because it didn't matter.
And she was very pretty.
She's cute. Did you recognize her?
I didn't.
So Ellen Wong is the actress. She was in Glow, the TV series.
Oh, really? Was she a wrestler?
Yes, she was.
Oh, interesting.
And she was, I wrote it down, and I'm an idiot. I wrote down she was Knives Out in Scott Pilgrim. That's not the character's name. But in my head. Great. To me, I think that character's name is Knives Out. So
Yes.
you recognize her from such movies as Scott Pilgrim.
Listeners,
And Knives
go to
Out.
Wikipedia right now and update that for us.
Please do. Please do.
The character's name is Knives Out.
Yes. And she gets a B love story, does she not?
Yeah.
With
Chet Connell, who I could swear was somebody, but he is like the most nobody.
Same thing. I looked at him, I'm like, oh, he was definitely like a rapist in a Law and Order SVU episode,
Yeah.
right? Was he? He really looked like one.
How has he not played Patrick Wilson, a young Patrick Wilson in a flashback?
He did have young Patrick Wilson, but not quite as hot as Patrick Wilson.
But he has the blue eyes, the blonde hair, he could the angles.
This very, like, there was a guy on Jeopardy this week that was, like, there in, like, military uniform and had that very, like, when, I don't know, there's something, like, sometimes when you meet a very military person, they're just immediately, like, intimidating because they could be very nice, but there's also the thought of, like, I don't know, man, like, you might have done some dark shit or seen some dark shit. This guy had that vibe. Yeah, he's been in a million things in Canada, and somehow I have not seen any of them.
Yeah. He's a nobodyist nobody. Handsome, he was a good actor. I just wanted more from his character. I wanted fucking something.
Yeah, it did. There was stuff there, definitely.
Yeah, because like he was delayed coming home, and you're like, oh, wonder what's going on there. Blah, blah, blah. And then he seems like he's cagey and he's like upset or something. Maybe it's just his acting style, but I thought there was an issue and nothing.
No. And now he's in a long distance relationship. So
yeah, good for him.
All right, so number 6 is our evil woman or our villainous male boss character. We think we get a villainous male boss, but we don't.
No, he's fine, right?
No, I mean, the first scene, you're like, oh, he denied this guy a promotion. And he did the thing where it's like, you're so good at your job that I'm not going to promote you because then nobody can do that. Which is kind of a shitty thing to do, but then he gives him the promotion. So no villain. Pisses me off. I like a good
Super
villain.
Handsome, too, so he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, let him take the lead in the next one of these.
Yep.
Number 7 is our montages. We have a few.
Couple, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the ones that you clocked?
Oh God, there was a decorating one in the little fucking
train station. I appreciated it because there were a lot of close-ups of cheese.
Yeah,
it was like charcuterie, cheese, decoration, cheese. I'm like, am I filming this? It's amazing. There was also a trivia game.
Oh, right.
This is why I guess I like this movie more than you. It involves a lot of cheese and a lot of board games.
Yeah,
right. Important things in my life.
Felt like you were at home with your Italian.
It really did, yeah.
Your auntie.
So now number 8 is slapstick.
Yeah, some really bad. It's always really bad, but
It's
he
never
like
good.
slides down the stairs at one point. You know, a lot of times movies like this, I like to watch them also because it reminds me acting is hard.
Wait till we get to the coffee cups. You're right.
Yes, it is. It's not easy. Like it takes a lot of skill and talent and practice. So it's not just something anybody can do. And you see it a lot of times in these kind of untested actors, like Ben Lewis, charming, cute, whatever. It's hard. Acting's hard, and you have to make choices, and he's going to get there. Right now, you can tell he's green.
It's one of my favorite things when you can watch a movie like this and, like, immediately tell who, like, oh, professional, newbie. Mm-hmm. Right? I always go back to, it's the Wayne's World 2 moment when Charlton Heston shows up at the end to deliver a monologue, right? When it's like, oh, I know it's a bit part, but we need a good actor for this. It's also what I call the Peter O'Toole moment in Troy. Right, Troy is not a good movie. Nobody's given it their all when it comes to acting, but like 2 hours into this long movie, Peter O'Toole comes in and gives a monologue, and you're like, "Wow, man!"
Who's that
People
lady
act.
that always does that? That lady that was in like Doubt. She played the mom in Doubt.
Oh, Viola Davis.
Viola Davis, like that.
Yeah.
She made a career out of that, like coming in an hour into the movie and then just like acting the shit out of something and dipping.
God, can you imagine if like Hallmark started like a little fund? It was like, all right, twice a year, we're going to get Viola Davis to come up and play Santa Claus in the last minute of our film.
Escalate
and she's going to win her Emmy and get her EGOT if she hasn't already. I think she might have actually already EGOTed. But like that, yeah, like the different things. Every now and then you get that one performer where you're just like, stop. And you're like, oh my God, that person's acting and they're good.
Yeah.
Wait, what is everybody else doing?
I know.
Yeah.
And it's like that in a lot of horror movies where because there's somebody who like you get so used to that style of acting, and then there's actually a good actor in there. You're like, oh, you don't belong here though. Like this is weird. Yeah. Like no, we're talking about a killer pinata.
Or that person's a star and everybody else isn't. The one I always go to for that is the vampire. Is it not Vampire's Kiss? What is the one with Sharon Stone? It's a Wes Craven movie about the Amish. Deadly Blessing. What? Bring it up all the time. It's not a good movie, but a young Sharon Stone is like eighth build in it, and every time she's on screen, you're like, oh my God, who are you? You are beautiful. You have such a great voice. You're not doing anything interesting in this movie that isn't that good, but you're a star.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
I love that feeling.
Yeah.
You know, one of the last ones that I can remember to give me that, I guess there have been some since then, but anyway, the movie The Perfect Getaway, remember that?
Everything about The Perfect Getaway, come on. Yeah. I've talked many times about how I snuck into The Perfect Getaway, I didn't pay for it, and I loved that movie so much, and I felt so bad that I have bought it in some variation of DVD for myself or others like 8 times.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Because I want to support that movie that I should have supported in the movie.
I love it.
It's so good.
Well, the actress that was in that's not Mila Jovovich. I don't even know her name.
Oh, Kaylee Sanchez?
Is that maybe?
Kylie Sanchez.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I was so drawn to her, and I was
She's
like,
lovely.
Oh, you should be a star. Yeah. Oh, and I guess you're next. Your best
My
friend.
girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of saw that in her too. I was like, "Oh, you got it, girl."
It is something you see sometimes, and it's amazing. Patrick kind of has it in this, I'd say, not fully, but give him he can be a lead in these movies very easily. I don't know, put him on like an NCIS something as one of the young cops, and we got something going for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hugo is still like coming up, but I can see Patrick is right on that precipice. He could be there really soon.
It might break them up in real life. I don't know if they can handle the stress of all that, but we'll see.
I want to watch that reality show.
All right, number 9, our sage old person.
Is that Fran Drescher? I guess
that's Fran Drescher. Yeah, she's not a sassy sidekick. We already have that role filled.
Yeah, and like does she offer?
She offers a lot of advice. She says things like, "Life is short. You see something you want, go after it."
And all of it is about civic pride too.
Yep.
Loving your community, building, doing better for people, making everybody's day better. Yeah.
Being very Jewish, but telling everybody you're not, apparently. Right? So being like the biggest Christmas person in the state of Wisconsin, even though you're Fran Drescher.
I didn't even think that. Oh, God, that's funny.
And then number 10 is Santa Claus, which, like, there are hints. There is a moment when, because again, like, old gay Santa Claus who isn't Santa Claus's office has, like, Santa glasses there, just sitting there, as if, like, gee, these glasses look like something Santa Claus would wear. Yeah, because he's Santa Claus, right? No.
I know. It was so set up. I was so
pissed off. I was mad.
God, because when he's looking at that picture with a magnifying glass and like examining it, and he sees that they're holding hands, I thought that I kept looking. I didn't understand it at first, and I was like, "Is he holding a sack or is there a reindeer behind him?
Is it coal?
What am I looking for?"
Yeah,
big missed opportunity. The land of missed opportunities.
Very much.
Yeah.
So now the bonus round, all these other little things that show up. So all of the public domain holiday, so music in general. Let's talk about some of it.
Yeah, it's one of these ones that just like the songs are so incomprehensible. I mean, they're not incomprehensible because it's just a list of words.
It's Christmas word salad, which is my new favorite thing to look for. And this one like lays it on. There are so many. Let me see. I wrote down some of the words that come up, or like the phrases that come up in these, because we're going to hear them more like the rest of the year. They're going to keep coming up. Trees glistening. Somehow this rhymed. Trees glistening and the party started. All of the faces on television. Christmas I'm missing. It was very Yoda speak, right? It was like in order to rhyme, we have to have missing at the end of the sentence. So we're going to move the preposition here. Did not make grammatical sense.
With iambic, pindaba, don't.
There was, when they were doing the game montage, Picture frame, turtle dove, magic of Christmas is spreading its love, and then something about Arizona. That was in the song. I don't know. It got cut off. I had the subtitles on, but like it didn't give me all the subtitles of the song, and I was listening closely, and I couldn't get the rest of it. But so I'm gonna call that song "Christmas in Arizona." Let me see. There was a drag lip sync to a Christmas song that I had never heard because I don't think it's a real song. But yet they paid for "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas."
Yeah, what the hell?
Like, that's not free. That's not public domain. Somebody owns that. You can't do that for free.
Good on you, Marcus.
What was that? And then the final song was "People Smiling, Having Fun. Please say you'll stay with me for Christmas. Twinkling lights, jolly snowmen." Those were some of the words I got.
Did you also notice that drag queen's name was Gladys Claus? Which means nothing.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Nothing. But also, is it that year-round girl? Like, do you go by Gladys Claus?
Like in July? Yeah.
Like,
that's a good question.
It seemed oddly specific to, like, that drag queen that works once a year.
I like the idea that, like, I don't know, like, she just, like, changes, like, so then in February it's, like, Ethel Valentine.
Yeah.
It's just continuously these kinds of names. That would be, like, I don't know, I just try to stay current. Also, we need to talk about the fact that there's caroling in this movie. I feel like I know the answer to this. How do you feel about caroling? Somebody knocks on your door right now, and it's 7 people dressed up in old-timey outfits singing kind of in harmony, kind of not. What are you doing?
Melissa, start boiling some water. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Fuck
right?
no.
Who the
Absolutely
fuck?
not. If I am assaulted that way,
It is
I will
assault.
call police.
Yeah.
Don't.
Hi, I'm just watching Jeopardy, having dinner, having a good time. Why is somebody ringing my doorbell? I didn't put a trick-or-treat sign on my doorbell. What's happening?
Yeah.
And I open the door, and there they are, standing there, looking at me, singing. And not even just like, oh, they came, they sang like one verse to Deck the Halls, and then they moved on.
Yeah, no. They changed songs. They like sang multiple
Well,
songs, and all 12 fucking
12,
verses.
exactly! 12 days of
fucking
Christmas!
verses of A Partridge in a Pear Tree.
It's like if you're somewhere and somebody starts singing 99 Bottles. You're like, oh no, we have to sing the whole song. I can't stay here for this. If somebody is singing 12 Days of Christmas, that meant they got through the whole thing over and over again, and they're standing at your door, and it's getting cold, and you're thinking about your ice cream melting.
Take a phone call.
Right. Right?
And Fran Drescher's the lead.
Oh my God! Yes!
Oh, I wish I had a gun.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Like, just at that point, like, you're boiling water. It's cold out, so I'm not doing boiling. I'm doing cold water.
Oh,
I'm just taking ice cubes and hurling them at each one.
Oh, I just want to hear him scream. I would dump hot acid off the roof if I lived in a castle.
Oh God, I hope there's not like a serial killer going around killing carolers, because we've just made you prime suspect and I'm your accomplice.
Mark and tag this. Flag this.
Oh boy,
part of the podcast.
that's a
Edit
movie.
out.
Okay. So let's see, the next thing for the bonus round, secret family recipe or needlessly complicated holiday cocktails. When they go to a bar, they all have to order, like, it's the Comet and Tonic, and, like, all the drinks just have reindeer names, so, sure.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Yeah, small business in danger,
Wait, what was the first part of that last one?
Secret family recipe sometimes comes up. Okay. I don't think anybody cooks in this movie. Nobody.
I mean, there were the pancakes, like his mom's pancakes at the very beginning. It's not. I guess it's not a recipe, but the way she does them in the little cookie tins.
Yeah, that's
butter,
something.
so
Good catch. Good catch.
Yeah.
The next one is small business in danger, which I guess is the railroad station that maybe gets saved and maybe doesn't. We don't really know.
Maybe gay, maybe Santa Claus. We don't
Who knows? Maybe it's actually the North Pole, or maybe not. I did not catch any product placement, although again, this movie did try to make Milwaukee seem like a really like liberal, open place for the gay community.
Which it might be now.
It could be.
I went back to my hometown of Springfield, Illinois, and I expected like kind of what I'd grown up with, like seeing it in like the 90s, I guess. And I expected that kind of small-minded thinking. It was so progressive, so flexible.
Wonderful.
There was so much trans representation and like stuff for kids to do, and like it
Nice.
has really come up. So these small towns in the Midwest, some of them got their shit together.
Good.
So
Maybe Milwaukee was one of them. According to this movie, it was.
it's
According to this movie, where nobody stepped foot in Milwaukee, it's a good place to be.
But basically, she never left her like community block either. Like
True.
the train station was right there, and like she lived right off of that. She lived on that street and decorated the whole. Like she didn't go into Milwaukee. She lived on Carroll Street.
Yes, yeah, it's a very good point.
Yeah.
Cloying child. I don't think we had any kids in this movie,
Nope.
right? Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank goodness. Especially because not Ellen Wong. Actor Ellen, character Maddie is like an elementary school teacher, right? So they could have done something. Thankfully, they did not. Appreciate
Oh yeah.
it.
It's never fun. I've never seen a good one.
Very,
And
very rare. Every now and then. Christmas Prince had some good kid actors, but it's rare.
I don't want to hate kids. I don't want to like,
I know. Oh, yeah, because I feel bad. Anytime I'm insulting a child's performance, I'm insulting the director for getting that performance out of the child.
Exactly.
But,
I
if
don't
I'm the kid
that
listening, I'm
situation.
upset.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so finding the perfect tree.
Sure.
So
they already did. It was
right. Like that's the setup. Is that Patrick is delivering the perfect tree,
and it's not even that big of a tree. Settle down.
Oh yeah. And so Patrick's dad owns a Christmas tree lot, and Patrick like works there because he's got nothing to do because he's rich.
Right.
Patrick at one point has Hugo come there for a date. And he's like, it's very romantic. He's got food made. They sit down. Okay, I don't know much about safety or Christmas tree lots, but doesn't it seem like a bad idea to have an open flame in a Christmas tree lot?
And two open flamers.
Oh!
That's my Paul Lind.
I thought we were doing like the old, like the Muppet guys, but you work better as a Paul Lind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I am Paul Lind. Come on.
They have a date in a fire. There's a little bonfire, and that just seemed. I was nervous watching that. It's like scenes in movies where a character's driving, and they keep like looking at the person talking. Again, maybe it's just The Descent ruined me, but every time I see that in a movie, I'm like, you're gonna die, right? You're gonna crash into a tree. Similar. If I see a flame in a tree, I'm thinking something bad's gonna happen.
Like when Michael proposed to Holly in The Office. I'm like, this is a paper company.
Yeah.
Are you trying to fuck her or set her on fire?
Exactly. Very dangerous.
Those out.
So number 7 is my favorite, and that is empty coffee cup acting.
I'm sure there was some. I forgot to look
so
for
much.
it. Was there a lot?
I mean, it was both hot cocoa and coffee, so that might have been why you didn't clock it, because they talk about hot cocoa a lot. There's a lot of like, oh, we have the best hot cocoa in Milwaukee. Oh, no, you don't. New York has the best hot cocoa. I'll prove it to you. And then Hugo stands there, and you're going to see me do this. The listeners obviously won't.
Yeah.
But at one point, Hugo is holding his coffee cup, and he checks his watch. And how does he check his watch? He just flips his hand over to check his watch.
What?
Thereby completely flipping the coffee cup over and nary a drop. So it's very thick hot cocoa.
How did I miss that?
Yep, it's there. It's there.
Oh. Actually, my roommate, Melissa, that I watched this with when we first started, I got on my phone and started playing my little game. She's like, don't Fozzie watch it, because like I'm notorious for Fozzie watching.
Gotta be eagle-eyed.
I
You want to
know.
catch that off the empty coffee cup acting.
So like on a little Twitter here, and like it's hard for me to just focus on a movie, so I miss little things like that.
And these are the movies why I need, when I watch these, and I was telling you, I think off mic, how when I am scheduling out these recordings and like scheduling when I watch the movies, I have to be like really careful about when I do it, because I can't have two of them in my head at the same time. I need to watch one with my notes in front of me. I used to do some of these at the gym, but I can't now because I need to take frantic notes the entire time. I need to pause and turn the subtitles on and rewind. So it's a very intensive viewing process if you're doing it
Watching
right.
two back to back and then trying to record a podcast is as chaotic as trying to put tater tots on top of your casserole without putting them in a spiral shape.
Ooh.
That's a reference to a very popular YouTube video right now.
I believe you.
This Midwestern mom, probably from Milwaukee, is making this amazing casserole. And one of the lines she says is, she was like, I know this seems like a lot of work, but it's the only way I can get my husband to eat tater tots. That's the problem.
That is champagne problems right there.
Yeah, you need your daily influx of tater tots, Daryl. I
Man.
told you. The doctor said you gotta have 88 milligrams of tater tots.
It's the bottom of the food pyramid.
Anyway, sorry I referenced that. Totally off track.
Oh no, hey, I need the hip young demographic here. So
when
please,
she goes the tater tots on, she was like, and don't just dump them on top. Put them in a nice spiral shape. Just dump.
Oh, so she was just like laying it. Okay, I thought you meant she was like taking a knife and like, I don't know, doing like knife work so that they like, what is it, like Hasselback potatoes when people do that? Where I look at that, I'm like, that looks good. Do I want to stop and take? And I'm like that stupid person that like I will take the time to do shit like that. Like I make bread now. Who am I?
What?
You know they sell bread in a store.
We have
or
vaccines.
you could spend hours making it. Like, so some of that I'm like, spiraling tater tots, huh? Like I can learn how to do that. But it sounds like that's not as complicated as it sounds.
No, this is literally just like laying little tater tots on top of a circular casserole dish in a spiral pattern. And because she says the other way is chaotic. And I love that about her.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
the whole meat was just cheese and powder and like meats, and it's disgusting. But then she's really particular about the tater tots, and I get that. Like, my life can be chaos, but my fucking closet looks amazing all the time. Like, there's some things that I have to have perfect.
I get it. I was very mad tonight because I served the same salad I served yesterday.
Oh, girl.
I'm not happy about that, but I had run out of other dressing, so I'm like, I don't have lemon, so I can't do my in a pinch. I do some lemon juice and olive oil. No, all I have is the homemade balsamic vinegar that I just did, so we're going to have to do that again. And it's not my proudest moment, is all I'm saying.
I feel like we are housewives in the 60s having this talk, just sitting around the kitchen. These are the problems we're sharing.
Yeah. This is what happens when you don't become a high-powered New York City attorney.
Yeah.
Instead, you sit there hasselbacking tater tots. All right, number 9 is our Canadianisms, or obvious tells that the movie was not filmed on location.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every actor in this movie, for the most part, aside from Fran Drescher, I think is Canadian, and it shows.
And I'm sorry, Toronto does not look like New York. I don't even
think they're in Toronto. They're in Ontario.
Ontario. See, Canada doesn't look like New York. I've never been fooled by a Canadian New York landscape.
No, take that, Scream 6.
Yeah, right.
Let's see.
How do you feel about Scream 7? All the hoopla.
Oh God.
Can we get into it? Should we get into it off mic?
If people came here to hear you, I think they want to hear you in Scream 7. So just quick tangent for those. Quick talk about Scream 7. So I hated Scream 6.
I know.
I just really actively didn't like it. Some characters, we don't even know if they're dead. And they haven't even been mentioned as coming back or not, because the movie probably won't pay them. So the whole thing seems very like the studio is in a mess and they are actively trying to blame actors and put things on them to get out of paying them. And like it's probably true. Jenny Ortega probably like months ago was like, no, I'm not coming back if you don't pay me what I'm worth because I am a movie star now.
Right.
And the fact that the studio waited to say she wasn't coming back until after they got very bad press after firing the other actor whose name I forget, Melissa Barrera, I think. I think they fired her, whether it was because of what she said online or not. They fired her, realized immediately, oh shit, people are pissed at us for doing that. So the best way we can get ill will is basically to throw Jenna Ortega under the bus and say, oh yeah, and look at Wednesday Addams won't come back either. So it just feels dirty. The fact that the way they treated Neve Campbell for the last film just makes me very like, I don't normally, I'm not normally thinking, oh, studios, they're the heroes. But this very particular moment just feels like, oh, this studio is just absolute trash.
Yeah, I see a lot of that discourse on like Twitter and people talking about it. My 2 cents, though, is like, I don't care. I want another Scream movie, and
I'd like a good Scream movie.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I mean that's the thing. I'm one of those people who is like, there's no such thing as a bad Scream movie. I know you disagree with that, but like even when they're not great, I still really enjoy them, and I like the way they're written, and I like a mystery. I like action,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly, and I love Neve Campbell, and I want her. I will protect her to the end of the time. But like, I didn't really love Melissa Barea, and frankly, not a lot of other people did until right now. And I know I read what she said online, and I'm going to tell you, I didn't even totally understand what they were talking about. I'm just not very world savvy.
Yeah, I just stay away from that entire subject because you cannot win, and there is so much loaded to it that I just avoid it. Publicly.
I barely understood Inception. Do you think I understand the intricacies of the fucking Hamas and like the Gaza Strip? No, I don't know. So I didn't know that what she said was bad. I didn't understand what was going on. So I'm staying out of that whole conversation. Yes. I just want a Scream movie in some form. And there's been talk recently of doing a reboot to this series. And I'm like, fuck, that sounds awful. I will go see it, but it sounds horrible. And I'll go see it, and I'll probably like a lot of it. But like, it sounds really bad. So that's where I stand right now.
Yeah, I just don't really understand what the property means anymore, which I felt like once they screwed over Neve Campbell, it kind of to me was like, okay, I don't know what a Scream movie is anymore.
Yeah.
And again, most franchises do that at some point. Like every franchise has its like sour points or the moment it derails. I just don't really get what the appeal is for Scream without anything carrying over, I guess. Like, I like Christopher Landon. Let him make a different movie. I'd be happier with that. So,
I mean, it seems like a lot of people are overlooking Courtney Cox in this too. I would be
that's the weirdest thing. Yeah,
with a Courtney Cox-led Scream film, if that's the way they want to go.
I mean, that was the thing that most pissed me off about the last movie was like the fact that the movie hadn't even spoiler alert, Scream 6. The movie didn't decide what to do with her, whether she's dead or alive. Like it ends with. Right? Like they're like, oh yeah, she's in the hospital still. Why? How does that make any sense to put your act, like, did you just not pay her to come back for the ending? Which is also what it felt like, so.
I feel like it was written that she was going to be killed in this, but I think that they thought about it because it's a Foley line where when they're wheeling her out and one of the people's Foley, is that the right word? Not Foley. ADR. ADR. It's an ADR line that somebody says, "Oh, I have a weak pulse," like when they're walking out. They throw that out there. So I think it was like they probably wrote it as she was dead, but then they were like, "No, we can't kill her, so let's just fucking throw this."
But and that was my entire problem with the movie and this goes back. My issue with Scream 3 was that like, wait, nobody died in that movie, basically. But here where it really was like, oh no, we're not killing anybody. We're keeping your 4 main characters plus Neve Campbell plus Courtney Cox all alive. And at that point, like. So what are my stakes here? Nothing? Okay, great. I can get stabbed 80 times in the gut and still be okay.
Right.
Cool. I don't know what this movie is about then. So
I know. I'm very disappointed by that, but I'm also very torn because I'm such a Pollyanna with films. I do want everybody to live. Like, I want to see them die. I want deaths in movies, but I also want everybody to live because I like them so much. And I know. I'm so torn on that whole – I'm back and forth about it.
I get it.
Anyway, so back to the movie real quick. There was that scene when he did walk in. Hugo was walking into the date at the Christmas tree farm, and he's kind of walking around. It's a little maze, and it's a little dark, and he's like, hello? And I was like, I kind of hope he gets murdered right now.
It's the dream. Every time you watch these movies, you're waiting for it to turn into a different genre.
Yeah. Something cool's going to happen in a second. Then it was just like a date with an open flame.
Also, like, the dating style of, like, Patrick keeps getting, like, busy, right? So Patrick will make a date with Hugo, and then last minute, like, Hugo shows up and Patrick calls. He's like, I'm so sorry. I had to do something. I'm going to be late. And Hugo's just so pissed about it. Like,
which is a weird dynamic. You would expect the lawyer to be the one that is always, like, regimented and has a meeting. And, I have a call. I'm sorry. My call ran late. Blah, blah, blah. He's working. Except this guy that works for his dad's Christmas tree farm. Like,
and wasn't that the whole thing was like usually when he was late it was like, oh no, I was delivering trees to the orphanage or something, like it was one of the things where like, well, I can't be mad at you, but also like, I'm on vacation and you've wasted my time. I guess that's what they were going for, but it was just that like weird dynamic. And I think maybe it was also trying to like drive into the fact that Hugo is realizing, oh, my time with you is limited, so maybe I shouldn't get invested. And my time is even more limited because you keep delivering trees to orphanages. So maybe
that was the intention, but to me it just came off as something that was set up that was not paid off.
Yeah, it was more weird pacing. Yeah,
it was pointless.
Yeah. Warm weather watch, or proof that the movie was not filmed during the holidays. It's not as egregious as some of the other movies, but like, I don't know, did anybody wear gloves ever? Oh, yes, they did when they delivered the tree, because that was the meet cute.
Yes, adorable.
Yes.
But I thought several times, like, it is Milwaukee, and that's in
Wisconsin.
It's December, almost January in Wisconsin, and they were up on the roof putting those lights on in just like a flannel, and a little vest,
no gloves, sitting pretty, like
absolutely not. It's cute. Like they probably thought that they're like, oh, this is what you wear in the winter, because they're so hot right then, because they filmed it in the summer, and so they're like, this is the most a person could possibly ever wear.
Yeah, look at how much we're giving for our art by wearing long sleeves in July. Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
All right, so number 11 is our old people aggressively and sometimes inappropriately matchmaking our leads.
Well, sure.
I mean, yeah, Kate wants both of her kids to fuck this week.
So bad, yeah.
Like hardcore, very hardcore. Yeah.
She wants his dick wet. She wants her daughter gaped, like, or whatever.
All those things and more.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the new thing I've added because I've realized I really. Hey, the highlight sometimes of any movie. A movie can be terrible, but sometimes they wear cute clothes.
Oh,
so our favorite fashion moment of the Christmas setup. Did you have one?
Well, Fran Drescher's initial presentation where she looked like kind of like Irish Elvira.
Irish, Jewish, Wisconsin Elvira.
It was very green, form-fitting, but it kind of had a cape to it as well.
Yeah, style. I mean, of course, it's Fran Drescher.
Yeah, I loved that look on her. And she's like voluptuous and like looking amazing.
Yeah, she looks great.
Yeah.
I think my favorite was like, you know me, I am a sucker for a good hat.
Sure.
And we get, like, as much as I hated the idea of Fran Drescher knocking on my door Christmas caroling, when she's got, like, literally a bag of hats and is like, everybody gets a hat, and, like, has picked out a hat for everybody. And Fran Drescher's hat is very cute. It's just, like, little cute holiday, little holly on the front. Like, she wears it well. I can't wear hats. I look dumb in them because I'm too short. I look up at people. Like, if I wear a hat, nobody can actually see my face, and I have to keep looking up. I have to look up at everybody, right? There's
like
very
Carmen
few people
San
shorter
Diego.
than me. I wish I could be Carmen Sandiego, but in reality, if you dress like Carmen Sandiego and most of the people you interacted with were 2 inches and above you, you would be very strained and awkward. So hats don't work well on short people.
Yeah, but I mean, Carmen Sandiego was always trying to hide her face behind her hat when she'd move. So that's what you're doing as a short person. Nobody can see your face.
Nobody sees me anyway. They can step on me. It's
that's
I
right.
don't have to worry about that. All right,
so that is one reason I love Fran. I know Fran Drescher and I would be best friends because, like, I just bought. I don't know if am I anywhere near. I bought a hat box.
Hat box. I see the hat box. It's a very pretty hat box.
I was like, I love a good hat box. I do want to fill it with hats. And then there was a box of hats in this movie. Fran, be my best friend.
Yeah, she'd be a good time.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, well, with all that being said, so I think I know your answer. Do you recommend the Christmas setup?
Not necessarily. Like, I'm really torn. It's a solid 5 in the middle of the road,
Yeah.
which in a lot of ways the worst thing a movie can be.
Except when it comes to these kinds of movies.
Yeah.
In a way.
But, like, Fran Drescher's fun to see, and support gay love stories like in any way you can, even if they're white like this again.
Yeah.
But,
we had some diversity within. We had a black boss. We had an Asian best friend.
Yeah, I mean, that's 80s diversity,
Every little bit, Jason, every little bit.
I know. But still, no, this was, if you want, like, support all gay media. That's the way I always feel. Everything any gay person ever does, support it. That's
and this was one of those, and this is Lifetime, not Hallmark, and I think this, and I should have double checked this, I think this was the first, like, where the gay love story was the love story. There had been a few movies in both Lifetime and even Hallmark where there was a gay character or where there was like a side plot with a gay romance, but I think this was the one that was like, no, this is a gay Christmas movie.
Oh, okay.
So for all of that, like, I think it does that admirably, at least from my point of view. Like, it feels like, this is as good as a heterosexual romance in these movies. But I did. I thought, yeah. I thought it had and again, it's not fully there, but there's a lot of charm, and this did, to me, it like felt more like a movie than some of these other movies.
Yeah, I'll give it that. Definitely, even with the commercial breaks put in,
Yep.
It still felt like a film. Yeah, it felt like a movie to me.
Yeah.
And like it was decently acted. It's not like there was just bad acting all over the place. A lot of these people were really good.
Yeah,
I can see them. Yeah, I can see them having a bigger career.
And nobody to me really, again, like Hugo just wasn't, I think, our type. Maybe that's the problem.
And his character is a sourpuss too. It kind of made me hate him. Like he's always like, oh no, I don't want to.
I don't want to go to London, even though I love London.
Yeah, I don't want to get up. Don't make me sing.
Don't make me make him a munchkin.
But he just is a whiny little bitch the whole time, and he's so annoying. But it's hard to act that, maybe, too. That's a challenge to, like, make that sympathetic. Like, this character is kind of supposed to be that way, but there are actors who could have made you find that endearing, you know? But he just didn't. Anyway,
so if you have the energy to pull up your library card and, take the 3 minutes it takes to make a Hoopla account, you can do this. If you have 99 cents to spend to rent or own the movie, your choice, you can do so.
The account's under my roommate, so I had to Zelle her $1.
Did she Zelle you back a cent?
No, but I did put in the comments the Christmas setup, just so we'll always remember when she looks back on her statement, like, what the fuck, $1?
Well, what's going to be funny is she's not going to remember what that means because we're not going to remember the title of this movie.
That's true. Yeah, like Lindsay Lohan. And she had amnesia. Is that the most brilliant movie ever? Was
okay.
that intentional?
So, with all that being said, I can't not do it.
Okay, we have to know.
All right, I found the title.
Oh my God.
I understand why I didn't remember it.
Okay.
I also think it actually did have a little bit of, this makes sense for the movie. Because how does she lose her memory?
On a like falling down a hill, right?
What's that word you said?
Falling down the hill, falling
the first
all
word,
the way.
The first word.
Falling.
And now a number.
For
and
Christmas.
Yeah, we got there.
Christmas. A.K.A. Kakoa Shaw's love story.
Indeed. All right, so Jason, where can people find more things that you've done, such as a novel that you've written?
Oh, right. Yeah, my book is still available. It's always available. I also
Great Christmas present.
Yes.
For the reader in your life.
Yeah. I have this little award from an old job, and it looks like a little Oscar, and I fixed it up, and I set it next to my book, standing up on my bookshelf. I won an award. I never won an award, but I put a little award next to it.
Nice.
I love it. It's so fun to look at. Anyway, please go find my book and tell your friends. It's called Always by My Side by Jason Fozzie Nelson, available on Amazon. I'd love to hear what you think.
And you can get it in both digital format or a hard copy, like I did. It's not in this room, so I won't pick it up and show. Not that people could see it, but it's a great art design as well. Great cover, but it is
by Kelly Combrink.
Yes, and it's just a wonderful read. I had such a good time reading it. It's a great mystery. It's great for podcasters because there's a podcast element or research element.
Yeah, a little gay love story too.
A wonderful gay love story. A much more interesting and involving gay love story than the Christmas setup.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I recognize, I don't know why I'm feeling the need to say this, but it is my first work, and so it's a little rough around the edges in some points, but I really love it, and I fell in love with the characters, and I hope you do too.
I had a fantastic time reading that, and I would love for more people to do so. So please, everybody, go find it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, with all that being said, we are both going to put our hands in the hat bag and go. Do you hear a doorbell ringing? Oh, because we've got 12 Days of Christmas coming in your ears right now.
Oh, Christmas muffins and
twinkling lights and puppy dogs wearing Christmas bows.
And rainbows and then the little candy canes.
Well, it's a wonderful feeling, so we won't ever grow. But we're working out 3 feet of fun for Mr. Ho, 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 making toys. For girls and boys. We're bringing joy to the world.
I call it oi to the world.
That's nice. I like it. She calls it oi to the world. Say, you be a good elf. You're cute as can be. And I hear you're a graduate of the Nasal Academy.
But I'm too big.
No, you're just right.
That's not a wig.
Oh, what a sight.
You're like the 7 dwarfs. And I'm Snow White.
Let's bring some joy to the world.